Okay, in this video, we're going to get a little bit more practice with Venn diagrams, and let's go ahead and start some problems. Number one says the Venn diagram below shows the number of senior boys who play football or wrestle. So you see all the ones that are playing football in here, all the ones that are wrestling these, the one that's in the overlap there that do both. Now the ones, everyone in this box, you can read up here again, represents senior boys. Okay, so these are just the ones that play football and wrestle, and then you have 104 more out here that don't do either one of them. Okay, so keep that in mind as we're reading these. A part, how many play football and wrestle? Remember the operator for and is that upside down V shape. So how many play football and wrestle? Here's where you find the overlap or the and section. There are 9 that do both. How many senior boys play football but do not wrestle? So the ones that play football, again, are in this circle. So how many play football but do not wrestle? So here's the ones that wrestle. So the ones that play football but do not wrestle would be the 18 right there. And that would be football and not wrestle would be that section. The C part says how many senior boys play football or wrestle? So here's all the ones that play football. There's 18, 9, and then those 9 also wrestle, and there's 12 more. So 18 that play football, 12 that wrestle, and 9 that do both. 18, 12, and 9, that'd be a total of 39 that do one or the other or both. And then finally, how many senior boys wrestle? So there's 12 that just wrestle. There's 9 that wrestle and play football. So 12 and 9, that'd be a total of 21 that wrestle. Okay, number 2 says the Venn diagram below shows the number of people at the gym signed up for yoga and aerobics, and you can see that in the 2 circles. And then the actual rectangle would be representative of everybody at the gym, everybody in that rectangle. So how many people are signed up for yoga class? That's everybody inside of this circle. So 68 yoga alone, 24 for both. 68 and 24, add that, that's 92. How many people are signed up for yoga or aerobics? So these are the ones signed up for yoga. These are the ones signed up for aerobics. These are the ones signed up for both. If you add those 3 groups together, 68, 24, that's 92, as with the previous answer, and then another 89 would be 181, I believe. The C part says, how many people are signed up for aerobics but not yoga? So here's aerobics. However, we don't want to include the ones that are signed up for yoga, so that would be just 89 people. And then finally, how many people belong to the gym? Now, you got to be careful here. These 575 people here are on the outside. That's just the ones that are parts of the gym, but not in yoga or aerobics. So the 575, that's not signed up for anything. Then the 68, the 24, and the 89, we've got to pretty much just add all these numbers together, and that gives you 756 total people. Number 3, the Venn diagram below shows the number of 8th grade students who have a smartphone or a tablet. And then you have the 117 that don't have either one. They're 8th graders, but they don't have a smartphone, they don't have a tablet. So how many students have a smartphone and a tablet? So the and would be the intersection, that'd be 58, have both. How many students do not have a smartphone or a tablet? How many students do not have a smartphone? That's these 117 on the outside, and that should be worded how many 8th grade students do not have either one, because this includes just the 8th grade. How many 8th grade students are there? So 117 that don't have either. There's 29 that have a tablet. There's 116 that has just a smartphone, and 58 that have both. So pretty much you're just adding all the students together here. And that gives you a total of 320 students. How many students have a tablet? So that's anybody in the tablet circle. So 58 and 29, that's a total of 87 students have a tablet. How many students have a smartphone but not a tablet? So here's all the ones that have a smartphone. However, these right here have a tablet. We want the ones that have a smartphone but do not have a tablet. So that would be just these 116. Okay, moving on to number 4. Venn diagram below shows the number of sophomores with Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram accounts. So now we have lots of overlap here. Anybody in this has Facebook. However, if you're in this circle and maybe right here, notice that's where Facebook and Instagram overlaps. Well, what about this number? That's where all three circles interlap. So you got to be careful about what's interlapping in each circle. So how many sophomores? And again, the whole circle, the whole rectangle represents all the sophomores just have Facebook. So that means you're in the Facebook circle, but you're not in any of the other circles. This one is in Facebook and Twitter. This one's in Facebook and Instagram. This one is actually in all three circles. So the ones that have Facebook alone is 124. How many sophomores have a Twitter or Instagram? So these 46 have just Twitter. These 34 have just Instagram. These 16 have Twitter and Instagram. Let's see, how many sophomores have a Twitter or an Instagram? So since it's an or, it could be in either one of the circles. So this one has Twitter and Facebook, so they have Twitter. These have Instagram and Facebook, so they have an Instagram. These have all three. So the ones that I've circled have one or the other. They either have a Twitter or they have an Instagram, or that some of them have both. So simply adding up all those numbers that I circled, and you should get 209. And again, reminder that anytime you have an or, it can be in at least one is what that or means from previous lessons. C part says, how many sophomores have Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram? That one's easy. That one's the one right in the middle, the one that's in all three of those circles. D, how many students do not have a Twitter account? So again, we're doing here not Twitter. If you want to use some of that old terminology from the previous ones. So these are the ones that are Twitter. So the ones that are not Twitter, you got to be really careful with something I'm going to do here. These do not have Twitter, these do not have Twitter, and these do not have Twitter. Everything inside the Twitter circle have Twitter. However, these 28 over here that don't have any of the accounts also do not have Twitter. So anything outside of this blue circle, which are the four numbers that I circled here, they do not have Twitter. So adding up 34, 28, 55, and 124, you should get 241. Do not. Let me rewrite that. E part. How many students do not have a Facebook and Instagram account? So the ones that do not have Facebook and Instagram. Okay, let's talk about the ones that do have a Facebook and Instagram account. And then we'll talk about the ones that do not. So the ones that have Facebook and Instagram. Oops, scroll down. Right here. This overlap right here. Whoop. Yeah, that's right. This overlap right here is all the students that have Facebook and Instagram. Now we're curious about the ones that do not have both. That's what it says. How many students do not have a Facebook and Instagram account? So there's a couple of different ways you can do this, but what you're trying to add up here is all of these students. These students do not have both Facebook and Instagram. When you add together all those numbers, you should get 285. That's the ones that do not have, and you can do it different ways there. Before you even start, you can see how many total students you had, and you could have just subtracted off the 76 students if you'd like to. That'd be one way of doing it. Another Venn diagram that has three different circles. This shows the survey results of cities visited by groups of people on a recent trip to Europe. So went to Europe, and here's some cities that got visited. How many people visited Dublin or London? So here's all the ones that visited Dublin. Here's all the ones that visited London. So what we're going to do is simply just add up the ones that visited one or the other or both or all three. So add together all these because it's or. Anytime you have, again, that or statement, this disjunction, you simply add, it could be in either one, the other, or both. So just adding up all those numbers, and you should get 327. Next problem. How many people visited London and Paris? Okay, London and Paris. Let's find London. Let's find Paris. The overlap, anytime you have an and statement, is an overlap statement. There's the ones that visited London and Paris. Now, these down here visited all three, but these were just London and Paris, but not Dublin. So London and Paris would be 64 and 24, which is 88 people. How many people visited London or Paris? London or Paris would be all the people that visited Paris or all the people that visited London. So anybody that's in either one of these circles. And I get there are a total of 346 of those by adding those numbers together. Letter D, how many people visited Dublin and not London? So here's all the ones that visited Dublin. However, we don't want Dublin. Let's see, visited Dublin but not London. We don't want the ones that visited London. So these right here visited London. So the ones that visited Dublin but did not see London would be the 76 and 43. That'd be 119 people. Okay, E part. How many people only visited Dublin? So visited these, the ones that I had circled again were the ones that visited Dublin. However, we don't want the ones that visited London or Paris, so we just want the ones visited Dublin. That'd be 76 people. Part F, how many people visited Dublin and Paris? Since it's an and statement, we're looking for the overlap between Dublin and Paris. That would be this section. These people visited both Dublin and Paris, 43 and 24. That's a total of 67 people. G part says how many people visited all three cities. Now this is the easy one. All three cities is the overlap of all three circles, which is right in the middle. That'd be 24 people. Part H says how many people visited London. Let's find the London circle, and that would be right here. So just simply add together the four groups, 64, 89, 24, and 31, and you should get 208. And then finally, how many people took the survey? So people that took the survey is every group. So all these people that went on the trip, you're going to have to include everybody that went to London, everybody that went to Paris, and everybody went to Dublin, including the ones that went on the trip but did not go to either one of these three cities. When you add together all three of those numbers, or all those sets of numbers, I get there's 500 different people that took the survey. Number 6, on a recent field trip to Cedar Point, students reported which roller coasters they rode. The Venn diagram below shows the results of the survey. So you have 3 different roller coasters, and then these 12 people down here, they didn't want any part of the roller coaster, so they didn't ride any of the 3. How many students just went on the Maverick? So just the Maverick alone, but not anything else, would be just these 27 students up here. How many students went on the Blue Streak or Millennium Force? So anything, since it's an or statement, it can be in either circle. So the Blue Streak is here. The Millennium Force is here. So any of the ones that went on this one or the both in the middle, add together those 6 groups of numbers, and you should get 126 students. C part says how many students went on Millennium Force and Maverick. Okay, Millennium Force and Maverick, since it's an and, we're talking about, where'd my word go? Since it's an and, we're talking about the overlap between Millennium Force and Maverick. So Millennium Force is down here, Maverick is up here, so the overlap would be right here between those two circles, 14 and 19, that would be 33 total students. How many students went on Blue Streak? So find your Blue Streak circle, add up those 4 numbers. 10 and 14 is 24, 45, and 24, I believe that is 69 total people. And then finally, the last problem, how many students went on Blue Streak and Maverick, but not on Millennium Force? So how many went on Blue Streak and Maverick? Okay, let's circle Blue Streak and Maverick would be right here. That's the ones that went on Blue Streak and Maverick, but it says, but not Millennium Force. So we're not going to include the ones that went on Millennium Force right here. So these 10 went on Blue Streak and Maverick, but not on Millennium Force.